Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It's lovely to be with you here at Crafters TV. My name is Rebecca Redican, and are you in the mood for a little bit of crafting, especially soft craft? If so, you're totally in the right place because this is our softer side show. Now, we've got some good news and we've got some bad news. The good news is double points, anybody? Oh yeah, we've got double points for you today. So if you see anything you love, grab it because you're spending money to save money eventually. So we've got double points on our show today. The bad news, I'm going to blame on someone else. My wonderful craft expert today has been giving you sneak peeks of some of our wonderful new fabrics. So much so, quite a lot of it has sold out, but there is still a chance to grab some. So if you do want some of that brand new fabric, you've got a couple to choose from. Head on over, shop the show on our website. And don't forget, whilst you're there, get social with us. We love hearing from you. Do get in touch with us in all of the following ways at the bottom of your screen. You can get with us here. The lady who has been absolutely oohing and ahhing over the fabric is with us today, and you have got a lot of crafts, haven't you? Lovely Bernie!
Hello, I'm hiding.
Yes, so you should. So you should, Bernie.
Hello, Becky. Oh my word. It's lovely to see you. And you know what? I've just forgot that I made a crochet poppy and I forgot to put it on, so I will put it on before you come back to me for demo.
No problem.
We've got an amazing show. Yes, we've got lots of sellouts on the fabrics, but we've got some fantastic items on the show. We've got Builder Block Plus, which we haven't had on for ages. We've got our multifunction dies. Bags, oh bags. We love making bags. And later on in the show, some embroidery thread as well. Later on in the show, I'm going to do a little bit of a rundown on all the different types of batten or wadding that we've got on the show, because these are back in stock. So get shopping, everyone.
Yay! Because it's something that we do not have on that often at all. Now, if you have been having a little nosy on my Instagram, you will have noticed on my stories, it's not just myself and the lovely Bernie. Oh no, I've put up a picture of the three Bs because it's Becky, Bernie, and the lovely Becky. Hi, Becky.
Hello, lovely to see you.
So nice to see you. Now, if you've not met Becky before, do not worry, you're not the only one. This is your first official show here at Crafters TV, isn't it? Tell us a little bit about yourself, Bex.
So I'm a crafter. I've been crafting for ages. It's one of those things that I automatically do. My parents, my mum was a costume designer and prop maker at Shepperton Studios, and so was my dad. So making things has always been something that we do. We just sort of produce bits and pieces. I'm always making bits. So I sew, I craft with paper, I embroider, I do all sorts of different things. So I'm here today to show you some of the Builder Block system.
So you've got a demo coming up today. Are you excited about it?
I am a bit nervous because you never know if it's going to go horribly wrong, but hopefully it'll be okay, and I won't sort of do any damage to the sewing machine or sew anything wrong, but fingers crossed it'll be okay.
I'm sure it will go absolutely perfectly. So we've got that demo with Becky coming up for you shortly. If you've got any questions for Becky, again, get them in on social. We'd love to hear from you. Now, we did mention that we have got some wadding or batting, depending on where you come from, and there is lots of different varieties, and we're going to talk you through those varieties. Some of it is we've not seen in a long time. If you need it, grab it whilst you can. We're going to start off by talking about the 80/20. Now, this is the most popular one. I've already got a massive amount of the stock gone. Don't worry, you've still got time, but a bigger proportion of this has gone. Today for you, for the individually, we're looking at £7.79 or $10.99, and that is per pack, and you get absolutely plenty in here. You really, really do. And this is something that we love working with, isn't it? You know, this is something that is an essential, especially if you're going to be creating something with that lovely depth to it. 80/20. It's important, isn't it, Bernie?
It is. Most things that I do or make, I'll put wadding in of some form or another. It just gives, for quilts, it's a necessity because you need it to give that sort of middle layer in your sandwich. But other than that, it also gives things a luxurious feel. So if I'm making a cushion front, I'll tend to put wadding or batting behind there. It just makes it feel so lovely. So, you know, that's what you definitely need batting for. So, shall I crack on with the demo?
Let's do it.
I'll do it. Now, I was going to demo the stocking, but I know that everyone's bought the panel.
Yep.
but I'm going to be a rebel and I'm still going to demo it, because what I'm going to show you is that actually you can use the fabric. So I've got this is the duck egg Hare. I absolutely love this. And also as well, you'll see that it's multi-directional, so you don't need to worry too much about getting it. I always forget sometimes when I'm prepping something that I've maybe cut it the wrong way, and then I've got sort of upside down animals or items. So with it being multi-directional, it's absolutely perfect for that. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is from the Craft Cotton Company. Anyone who's had their fabric before know how lovely it is. It washes lovely, it irons lovely. I haven't ironed this. This was one of my fat quarters. So I've unfolded it and I haven't ironed it, but it does iron really, really lovely. So I'm going to be using the Christmas fabric, but also anyone who has already bought the panel, obviously you're going to tune in and watch to see how to do it. If you haven't, what I did this morning, I went on a search engine and I just searched free large stocking template, and absolutely loads came up. So what you can do is use your regular fabric, like I've done with this one. So I've used one of the fat quarters here, and I've just use that one as my other side of my stocking. So that could be your stocking that you can then embellish with all of your, your goodies. I love the fact that this has like a faux pom-pom trim. So if you have any pom-pom trim or rickrack or ribbon or anything like that, you can, you can really, really build it up. So what I did was I cut out my panel and I cut out my 2 stockings, and then I put wadding on the back. Now I'm going to turn this one over so you can actually see the quilting that I've done. However, this is the ideal time for you to use your quilting pattern guides, because it's a small project, so you haven't got a big quilt to work with, and it's really, really good practice for that. But all I've done here is I put my walking foot on out of my machine feet set, the quilting set, and I just did straight lines, just about an inch roughly, all the way one way, and then I went back the other way, and it gives you that called a crosshatch effect. I think I said crosshair before, it's crosshatch. You can't, I don't know if you can see it on camera there, but I can see it here, so I thought I'd show you the back so you can see the design. And then on this one, what I thought was, I'll do that, and I thought, oh no, because I've got things here. If I turn this one over, I've actually gone around the M of Mary, and I've gone around the Hare.
Oh yeah.
I just stitched around, and then on the ankle, or the heel, sorry, of the stocking, and then on the toe, and that's enough quilting as you actually need on that.
Perfect.
And then I need a lining.
Can I just interrupt you for
you
2
can.
ticks, Bernie? Sorry about this. Just to let people know, I know that you're trying to shop the show. We're having a little bit of a technical issue with that. So don't worry, I want you to be able to get your hands on stuff. So I thought I'd interrupt for a second just so you can do it. So if you go onto our website, you want to go onto our schedule, the actual CTV schedule, scroll on down, and you'll find the softer side of life. Click shop the show on that section and you will be able to. So sorry if you're having trouble. One more time, just go onto our website, go onto the schedule, find today's show when you scroll down, and then you can shop that way. So sorry about that. We are trying to sort it out. But yeah, it's not working through the main page at the moment. So we'll try and get that sorted ASAP. But for now, to secure your goodies, because as I've said, a lot of stock has gone, then do that. So yeah, thanks very much. Sorry to interrupt, Bernie. Carry on.
That's all right. I wondered if everyone's gone to shop and we've just broke the website. So the other thing as well, so for my lining, I've used white from our Threaders blenders. So if you can go onto the main website and look for our Threaders blenders to pick that up. And all I did was I laid the piece that I'd cut from the panel, or you can do it from a template that you can download free online. And then I just drew around it or cut around it to get the lining. So with the lining, what I've done is I've sewn all the way around, but I've left quite a big gap here. Sometimes patterns will tell you just to leave like a 3-inch gap or something like that. I always look at the project and think, how much stuff have I got to get through that gap? So if a pattern does say only 3 or 4 inches, but actually you think, I want to leave a little bit more space there to get that through, that's absolutely fine. So I've left probably about, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches there. So what I'm going to do is also I need to stitch together my 2 stockings, and I want to have a little hanging tab at the top. So on the panel you do get a piece that you cut out for the hanging tab, But you can make, I say you could use ribbon as well if you wanted to, or even some of that, if you put pom-pom trim on, you could use a bit of pom-pom trim. So I've got my little tag in there. And what I do is I place it where I want it to be when it's finished. Do I want it right at the top or further down? Oh, I'm going to have it further down. So I want to have it there, but then obviously you want to reverse it because you want it to be pointing inwards when you're stitching.
Okay.
There we go. And then I'm going to place right sides together. And this is where you can either use your pins. So I've got my pins here. And if you are putting any tabs or anything on, pin those first before you start pinning the rest of your project. Because if you start down here, by the time you get up to there, it could have shifted a little bit. So anything that you're putting in, if you're putting like a handmade tag or something like that, always just pin them in first so they don't move. Because they'll move if you don't.
Okay.
You can try, you might hit unlucky. I can tell I've learned that from experience. And what I did do as well is when I attached this wadding on the back of the fabrics here as well, I used our stick and spray. So that's our temporary spray for fabric. So we do have one that's for paper. So we sell two stick and sprays. Ours is the dark blue can, which is the one, and it does say that it's for fabric. And you don't need a lot, and it does wash out as well. So when we say it's temporary, it's because you can spray it, peel it back and reposition it if you need to, if you've gone a little bit off. Okay, so I'm going to, because I'm going through 2 layers of wadding and 2 layers of fabric, I'm just going to lengthen the stitch on my machine to a 3. And I'm basically going to stitch all the way around the outside to stitch these two together.
Loads of you getting in touch with us. Good morning, Rosalind. Rosalind, you love, is saying she's from Maryland. Woke up too early, been up since 4 a.m, going to bed, and I'm going to need a nap after this show.
Oh,
You love, Rosalind, I hope you're all good. Diana's in, saying morning from Arizona. Hello to Nefertiti, saying good morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Don't forget, if you've got any questions for Becky or Bernie, I'm not speaking about myself in the third person there, the other lovely Becky, then do feel free to get in touch on our socials.
And I'm just going slowly round the heel there. And also on our machine here we've got the function which is your needle up down button. I always like to put them in the needle down position, so when you stop your needle stops in the down position. So if you do have that function on your sewing machine, it's a really handy one to have, because it means if you pause for whatever reason, then your project isn't going to move. So just carefully around. And when you're going around a circle, you don't have to pull the fabric. What I tend to do is I'll often hold it. So I've got hold of it here, and I'm just guiding it with my other hands.
We are having some people saying, oh, is the stocking still available? I'm so sorry,
No.
but it's not. However, you can go and create your own. As Bernie mentioned before, head online. And what did you search again?
So I put in free large stocking template, and absolutely loads came up.
Great.
Absolutely loads. If you've got a stocking at home from a previous year that you've made or bought, you can draw around that as well.
Ah, yeah.
Or freehand one if if you're okay at freehand and stuff. I'm not, to be fair. So I would go and have a look and get a free template.
Yeah.
But I say you can decorate them as much or as little as you like. Do you know what would be fabulous?
Go on.
We've got our nativity dies.
Yeah.
That we brought out a couple of months ago. Was it last week I had them on the show, the week before?
Yeah.
You could decorate them with that and have like a little nativity scene.
Cute.
As well, couldn't you? There we go. So the other thing what you're going to do then is any curves that you stitch, you either want to clip into them or trim. I'm just going to trim. I prefer to trim. I don't know why. I'm a trimmer, not a clipper.
It's a bit quicker, I think.
It's either way. If you are going to clip though, you want to make sure that you've got a little pair of scissors just to get right in when you're clipping, because you want to clip close to the stitches but not right on them. I think that's why I prefer to trim.
Yeah,
in case. But if you do trim in, you can just go back in and restitch it. Talking of which, let me bring this in, Becky. So,
Oi, up.
I've got my little scissors in here, in my tool tidy. I've got them in there. However, can we play a little game, Becky?
Yes, please.
We've got this on the show later.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone
tool
wants
tidy.
to have it just for fun, have a little guess of how many items I've managed to get in my tool tidy.
Right.
And we'll have a look later on, because there's just so many. But you actually get 2 in the offer as well. You're getting the twin pack, but I've got everything crammed in.
Get your guesses in.
Yes.
How many items
How many do you think I've
have you
got
been
in?
able to? The tool tidy is now on your screen, and it's 2 of those that you get. So if you've not seen them before, it's the base that everything was in. 2 of those for that fantastic discount deal today. You're saving 25%. So get those guesses in.
All right, so we're nearly finished this now, you know. So I've done the outside and I'm turning it through, and I just go with my fingers and just poke into those corners just to get it nice and neat. There we go. And if I turn it over, you can see now how the strap now is on a nice little angle for when we hang it up. There we go. So I've got my lining. I'm going to leave my lining inside out, but I'm going to put the outside one inside the lining. And the reason I do that rather than the other way around is your gap for turning then is already on the outside, so you don't have to go fishing inside.
Oh, that's clever.
So don't worry about getting your toes lined up. That sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? We're dancing, don't you line your toes up? Because it doesn't have to go all the way in, because we're going to turn it through anyway. What you want to just think about is lining up this top section.
Okay.
So give it a little bit of a shake, and then this time I'm going to use my quilting clips for this.
Oh, we love those.
I love them. I clip everything around the house, like literally. If I need something clipping, quilting clip. So I'm just going to line up both my side seams first. So clip one side, and then clip the other, and then I'll pop a few or a couple on either side.
If you do want the clips, a pack of 10 about to come on screen any moment now. They are fabulous.
They're really
we do
handy
use
to
them a
have.
lot, yeah. Even great for just holding bits of, to be honest, I've been using, because I did manage to get a pack not that long ago, because I know it took me ages to grab them. But I've even been using them to keep like pieces of paper together when I'm doing, you know, uni work and stuff.
Yeah, I put my receipts together.
That's a good one, yeah. Great idea.
Anything where I need something just to hold. I mean, I use so many in my demos. I was sorting through some old demos the other day, and I don't know how many clips I found because I use them just to clip things together, because they are really, really handy.
It's great. It's a pack of 10, but you can buy as many as you like. Don't forget, it's double points today on these.
Double points. Right, so I've got all that clipped. So now on the sewing machine, I'm going to change it into a freehand setup. And on a lot of machines, what you can do is take your accessory pack off the front of the machine. So mine just slides off here. Most machines do let you change to a freehand. If your machine's an industrial or an older machine, it might be known as a flatbed machine, and that means you can't do it. But this is, most modern machines now do have that set up. And what it means is you can put your work around and you're not having everything bunched on the top here, so you can't see what you're doing. So I'm going to use that needle up down position, and I'm just going to stitch all the way around the top.
Perfect. Loads of you getting in touch. Pamela is saying, good morning, Becky, my crafty friend. Oh, hi, Pamela, you're all right. Loved the shoes you had the other day. And Bernie, the most inspiring sewing instructor. She made me get my sewing machine out that had been sitting for almost 2 years. You two make things so much fun.
Oh, how lovely.
That's great. How does it feel when you hear that you've inspired someone to use their sewing machine for the first time in ages?
I get a little bit emotional, you know, because like I love doing it, but to know that I've like inspired someone else.
That's lovely.
Especially if they like new people or people who haven't sewn for a long time as well, just to get the love back, because we do it for a reason, because we love it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've sewn I've sewn all my life, you know, from being little when my mum taught me to sew. And we used to say, it's quite cute because, so my mum used to work in like a sewing factory, but she used to make like nighties and mittens, fur mitts she used to make and sell them to all the girls in the factory. And on a night, my mum would be making them, and the ones she'd made, she'd put them in like a little, like a laundry basket, and me and my sister would sit on a night and clip all the cotton ends off for her.
Oh, that's so
cute.
lovely.
So I go back like years and years. So to hear that, you know, people are coming back from doing it years ago and, you know, rekindling the love for it is absolutely amazing.
Oh, that's lovely.
So that's really
Thanks
nice.
for that, Pammy. You're a doll.
Oh, thank you, Pam. Right, so I've just stitched all the way around the top of there, and I've got this gap here. You can see my stocking's all still folded up. It can stay folded because I'm going to pull it through there, which is easy to pull through. And then turn your other one round. And we just need to stitch that little hole up. So normally what I'll do before I stitch it up, I'd give it a little press to the seams together, but just for quickness, I'll just do it. Actually, shall I show you a little trick, but I won't be able to do it on overhead, Charlotte. Get wrong off Charlotte. She's huffing and puffing now in me ear. So if you fold it like that, if you go to the end of your table, if you've got an edge on your table, so I'm going to be coming, and you just rub it like that. So I'm just rubbing
that's
on the edge there. It actually just gives it like a little bit of a press. Oh, look, so you see there, it's nice and creased.
Yeah, it's lovely. Great tip.
So if you haven't got your iron handy, you can do that. So I'll just quickly sew that up and pop it back on the inside, and then it's all ready to hang. We used to have I don't know about you, we used to have like a sock. Just like an over-knee sock. Did you ever have them, over-knee socks?
Oh, yeah,
So
like welly socks.
We had an over-knee sock, and we used to get an apple and orange and some nuts hanging on the edge of our beds. We did. That was our presents. Our presents would then be downstairs, but we had the fruit and nuts in the one in our bedroom.
That's nice.
It's so cute. But yeah, it was your over-knee sock because we didn't have stockings.
Oh,
sounds like we were really poor, didn't it? But that's what we did as kids.
Yeah.
You know, when we were little, we didn't have like mobile phones. My niece or my nephew once asked me what did I do when we were little because there was no cameras. I won't tell you what I said back to him. Cheeky fond. So then I'm going to pop that lining inside of there, and we have the perfect
it's so cute.
finished stocking.
Oh, I just love it.
How fab is that?
I love
With my
it.
little tag.
That is so beautiful, and remember that you can create your own of these with the fabrics that we have left. Now, to the best of my knowledge right now, we've only got these 2 left. We do need to doubly, triply check that that hasn't sold out, but just imagine being able to use these to recreate your own unique stocking like that. You know, it's kind of not fast fashion, it's not the type of thing that everyone will have. You can make them unique for yourself. Of course, you will need some of the wadding. We've used the 80/20 on this, but there are other options. So tell us a little bit about the other option, and we've got the 50/50 bamboo right now, haven't we?
We have. This is another one that's really, really lovely. The bamboo that we've got here is by a company called So Simple, and I really love how they make theirs. It's naturally sourced cotton and eco-friendly with the bamboo as well. So it's, you know, they've got a really good ethos. You're getting 50% bamboo, 50% cotton blend. So it works in the same way as the 80/20. The 80/20 is 80 cotton, 20 polyester. You can use it for the same fabrics. It's just your preference of which one. So it's not going to stop you doing certain projects. It's just your preference of which one you want to do. But it's lovely and soft. It really is. And you can hand quilt through this as well.
Oh, nice. Okay,
really,
perfect.
really lovely. So yeah, it doesn't look any different. It just looks like a cream, like wool, really, like an all wool blanket. It looks like. But yeah, this one's the bamboo one. So yeah, so get your hands on that if you if you're wanting some of that.
Okay, perfect. So that one's the bamboo, so 50% bamboo, 50% of your cotton. Don't forget, of course, for any of those of you who, environmentally, bamboo obviously is really, really good, isn't it? Because it grows so vastly. If you do want the 100% natural cotton, then I have got that for you. So 100% cotton, maybe for allergies, this could be quite a good one. We have got that one for you too. So again, looks similar. Is it a different feel?
It does feel a little bit, I want to say woollier, because although it's cotton, it does feel it's a little bit thicker. The thing with 100% cotton is I usually use this for 2 uses mainly.
Okay.
Anything that I'm going to make that I'm going to put in the microwave. So you make the ball cozies.
Yes.
That you want to be using 100% cotton wadding and 100% cotton thread as well. A lot of thread's polyester, so you want to use a cotton thread. And also, if I'm making anything for a little baby,
Yes.
I want it to be the 100% cotton. The main difference with this one is with the 80-20 cotton and the 50-50 bamboo, that shrinks up to 3 to 5% when you wash it. With the cotton, that can shrink 5%. So if you don't want that vintage quilted look on your quilt or your item, you can wash this, you hand wash it. The instructions are on the website. If you click on the product, it does give the instructions on there. So you would hand wash it and just line dry it, and then it will like pre-shrink for you. But again, it just looks the same, but it is 100% cotton, this one.
Perfect. So if you do want to grab that one today, it's just £6.79 or $9.59 if you're platinum, or if you're brand new and it's your first order. If it is your first order, your first time tuning in, hey, I hope you're right. I hope you're having a lovely day. We've got double points on today, which basically means that you're getting points on top of your treats, and those points can eventually save you money. So it's well worth treating yourself. Loads of you getting social with us today. I'll read some more of those in a moment. But for now, our final option for wadding, which is the poly wadding. So tell us a bit about this one, Bernie.
So the poly wadding we get is a white colour. I don't have one with me today. Naughty Bernie, you didn't bring that one. And it's usually white when you get the polyester. What it is, 100% polyester. That one has more loft to it. So if we, for example, if we look at the wadding we've been looking at, it looks quite thin, but there is a lot of warmth in there when because of the fibres are condensed. But in the polyester one, it can be up to 1 inch thick. You can buy thicker ones as well. You can buy really thick ones. And basically that's more, because it's got more loft to it, it gives more structure. So whereas with your other types, you've got the drape. If you want to drape like on a quilt, the polyester one, you do say, if you want to say make a play mat, you want something that's more rigid, or you're just making soft toys, or even in cushions as well, you can use the polyester. So there's different uses for different ones.
I think that is just wonderful. We have had a message through from Michelle that's saying she wants to use the dyes to make some backpacks for her daughter with, say that again, sorry. Cork material. Oh, I love that material. What kind of batting or wadding should she use?
So if you're using our cork material, if it's the heavier one, have I got anything that's cork with me? I'm sure
I've got some cork in, I think.
I think you might
I've got some cork. I've got a corker here.
If it's the thin one, so that one that you've got there, Becky, that's the one that comes in the box. That's quite thick, so you don't actually need any wadding in that. It has a cotton backing on it. So you'll see that project there doesn't have any wadding in there, doesn't need it. But if you buy the ones that you can buy by the metre off the bold, and we did have the strike and stripes and the ornate lace in the past, we've had those, that's a thinner one. So you could put some wadding behind that, or even some interfacing if you don't want it too bulky. But if it's the ones out the box that we still have, which is the forest, the chocolate and the Oxford blue.
Which was that one, is it?
That was the Oxford blue,
the Oxford blue,
that one has its own structure, so you really don't need any wadding with that one.
Perfect, thanks so much. So, whilst you are heading on over to our website and shopping the show, because we fixed it, and when I say we, I don't mean Bernie or I, we did nothing. The technical people did something. So hopefully you'll be able to shop the show now and it is all fixed. If you would like to treat yourself to our double points and you'd like some extra goodies, can I suggest the Get It, Got It Good? So So today's Get It Got It Good is all about our Spectrum Noir acrylic paint pens. You have got a massive selection here, bright, jewel, pastel and your essential selection. This is a mega saving. As you can see, you're looking at about 25% discount on this, and they are for use on so many different materials. They will last, and that colour really pops. So get that 25% discount whilst you can, remembering that you've also got the double points on that. Now, if you do love creating elements with our builder blocks, maybe you've never even seen them before, let me give you the chance to get our builder block Plus. Now, it's called Plus because it really is extra with a capital E. We are bringing to you your 14-piece set here that gives you the opportunity to build blocks of 4 inches, 6, 8, 9 and 12 inches. This is going to give you the chance to create wonderful designs very simply. And actually, if I just walk over and turn this around, I'll show you the different shape dies that you're going to be getting inside this. It's going to make sure, because you've got the dies here, that it is accurate every single time. There's no worry if you're not very good at maybe cutting with your scissors, or you're not very good at kind of using, you know, your glass board, for example, or you get a lot of frayed edges. This will help you with that accuracy, and it does it so quick and easy. You simply run it through your machine and you too can be creating fabulous products such as this. We're bringing it to you at just $59.99 or $83.97 if it's your first order or your platinum. Double points on that today. Now, if you were tuning in from the start of the show, you'll know that we mentioned that it's a 3Bs on air today. Oh yeah, you've got Becky, myself, the lovely Bernie's with us, but we've also got another Becky. Hello Becky, how are you?
Hello, very well, thank you. Nice to be here, very exciting.
It's so lovely to have you with us. Now, you've got the Builder Block Plus in front of you. Tell us a little bit about it, please.
Well, this for me was a real game changer because I've used die cuts before for making cards and that kind of thing, but I've never been able to use them for fabric because the dies I happen to have weren't for that kind of use. Now, I find when I'm making a patchwork quilt, the thing I like least is cutting out all the individual pieces of fabric. It's the thing that takes the longest, and it's the thing that you've got to be super accurate with to make sure that you've got the perfect results each time. So having this system where you can pop your fabric down, pop your die on top, cut up to 8 layers of fabric in one go, and then everything's perfectly cut and I can get on with putting together, it is an absolute game changer for me. So if you see here, you've got 3 different drawers, and each one, if I open them up, you'll be able to see there's like a little map here which shows you exactly what you're going to be getting and the sizes of the individual dies, and they're all kept inside here. And this, again, you know, if you have dies, the last thing you want to do is for any of them to get sort of damaged or not work, or you lose something. This makes sure that everything's kept nice and tidy, and this can be used in conjunction with the first builder block system that we brought out before, or it can be used as a standalone. So as with all of these, you will get a little booklet that will show you how to make the bits and pieces in here, and it will also show you what you can make, what you can achieve by using these different dies. And obviously all these dies are in different sizes, so you can make a very small block or you make a much larger block. It's entirely up to you. So these particular ones here, you'll see that you just need this system in order to make them. As we go further through the booklet, you'll find some of them require the original builder block system to go in with it because you don't have exactly the right shapes in just this box. You need to use the additional one. But you see you've got plenty of different options here, huge amounts of information in order for you to put together something that's really looks lovely and quick. And I think fundamentally that's what we want to do. We want to achieve the final product as soon as we possibly can, and this allows you to do so. So I'm going to show you a couple of samples that we've got here today of finished products using this system. So this is a beautiful quilt we've got here with these fantastic diamonds on there. So again, a really simple design, but elevated by these fantastic colours and the fact that you can put this together really quickly.
So cool.
Isn't that lovely?
Just
really
brilliant.
nice. And no, very, like I say, very simple, but quick to put together. No, with quilting, I think quite often the thing that we want to do the most, the thing we want to get on with, is the actual quilting. The actual sticking together or cutting out the pieces of fabric can be not boring, because none of it's boring, but it can be a little bit tedious. And I was talking to my mother, who's a great sewer, and she can't use a rotary cutter. She finds it too difficult. And if you can't use a rotary cutter, these make life so much easier for you and allow you to be able to make something a little bit more exciting and different to some of the things you've been making before.
Oh,
so this one is beautiful, isn't it? This
really
kind of star-shaped here.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I love that. And if you do love blue hues, let me just quickly let you know something. You have all been bouncing towards the Hare fabric, and I'm afraid it has now sold out, as have the other 8 or whatever that different designs we have. We have got one left. I've got about 5% of my stock left on this. It is the wonderful holly with that beautiful duck egg blue back. This is another sort of multi-directional piece, so you could use this either way around. It is great for clothing, great for bags, and so much more. This is the only one we've got left, about 5% of the stock. If blue is for you, I have got the Fat Quarters Tokyo Blue collection. If you want this, just go and search it, okay? Head onto our website and type in Tokyo Blue and you will get the Fat Quarters here. So really low in stock on those ones. I do apologise for that, but as I say, 5% of this left, a bit more of that one, but still not a massive amount. So do seize the moment on that whilst you can. I'm back with you, lovely Becky.
Few more samples to show you. So this one is a very simple one with just the rectangles and squares, but look how effective that looks. And with any kind of points or anything that you want to be precise with, you want to make sure your measurements are exactly on point, and that is one of the things you're going to be able to get with this. And then you can get going with your quilting, putting these stars in there. That will allow you to sort of produce your quilt quickly in order for you to start doing the quilting, which, let's be frank, that's the exciting part of it, isn't it? And here is the final one with these, these beautiful sort of triangles, 2 different types of triangles. Again, very simple, but obviously you need to make sure that you're nice and accurate when you put these together. So lovely there.
I love that, and the colours in it are fabulous, aren't they? There's loads of you chatting about this. Hello to you all. Dyes for fabric are amazing, says Laura May. I wish I had them for clothing, lol. Yeah, well, I know it's not quite the same, but we have got the accessories for bags, which could be a way of getting into that. Hello to you, Liz is saying, planning to use my new builder block to make Christmas table runner. That's a fabulous idea, I love it. Do keep those messages coming through, because this system really does have it all. Well, what have you got there in front of you now?
I'm going to show you a little bit of a demonstration using one of these builder block systems here. So I'm going to use the honeycomb one, which is this one here, which I thought actually, if you're going to be using, doing a table runner or something like that for Christmas, this would look lovely around the edge. You just use one of these half of blocks all the way across. So I'm going to open up my box of tricks. I'm going to be choosing the, I'm looking here, we're going to be using the 4.5-inch triangle. So you just pop it out of the box. And another thing, that sometimes happens when you're using dies is after you've used them for a little bit of time, they do warp slightly, but these are really sturdy. I mean, I'm trying my best to bend these. These aren't going to bend. And you find that with these kind of dies, because they are made for cutting fabric, they've got a much deeper cut here. So if you've used papercraft dies and you found that when you put them through your machine, they don't cut fabric, that's one of the reasons. But also another reason is because you might not be using the fabric plates that we've got here with the Gemini. So I'm going to cut some of these now. I've already pre-cut some of my fabric. So with this system, which from what when I said before about cutting fabric, when you're cutting it with a rotary cutter, sometimes it slips and slides. You don't want to cut too many pieces. I also don't want to cut too many pieces in one go in case I'm not super accurate. But you don't have to worry about this because you can cut up to 8 layers of fabric. If you want to, you'll be using sort of a general size kind of thickness of cotton. Obviously, you're going to be using something thicker, like perhaps a denim. So these would work really well with a denim fabric, but you wouldn't necessarily want to be using quite so many layers of fabric just to allow it to sort of cut through. But we say between 6 and 8 layers you can use.
Right.
So we're going to be using our fabric plates here. So we've got our normal plastic one here, then we've got our metal layer here, and we're going to pop the fabric in the middle with the dye on top, another metal layer on top, and then the plastic layer, and we're going to feed it through our Gemini.
Boop, 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 boop. This just in. All of the new fabrics sold out. Sorry about that. Well done to those who got it. If you do want the Tokyo blue, which lovely Becky's cutting out with right now, the fat quarters, that's one of them, then you can grab that. Just search Tokyo blue on our website and you'll find it. So well done to everyone who got those.
I'm not surprised the fabric's sold out because they are such good value, aren't they? They really are definitely worth having in your stash. So you can see that's come through and it's already cut through those layers very, very easily. There we go. And I think this fabric's really pretty. I love this kind of colour, these kind of mountains that you're getting with your Tokyo blue fabric. Pop everything back in, try and be tidy. I'm not this tidy at home, as my husband will verify, and that's just not what happens. So we've got all these beautifully cut out. Now, one of the things that you do need to remember is if you're using any of the half rectangle triangles, you need to make sure that the fabric is facing the correct way when you're cutting them out. I learnt that to my cost when I was just folding fabric over the top of each other, and then I ended up with triangles that were facing the wrong way. But with these isosceles triangles, you don't have to worry about that. Now you will see at each end you've got a little notch that's taken out. This is these doggies are just taking out the part of the fabric that you no longer need when you're putting everything together. It just allows you to quickly make your product together without having to do any trimming afterwards. So I have already cut out some of my grey. These are the half rectangle triangles to use, and I'm going to pop them together. So I'm going to take these two triangles first of all. So in your booklet, it shows you how to put everything together. So you can see down here, I'm going to be needing 2 isosceles triangles and 1 half rectangle triangle for this block here. So I'm going to put these 2 together and I'm just going to line them up. And because they are perfectly matched, I don't need to necessarily worry about putting any pins in there. They're going to hold together really nicely. You could, of course, use some of your clips, your pins, a little bit of glue, but hopefully, she says, fingers crossed, it was all going to sew beautifully. So I'm going to be using a quarter of an inch seam allowance here. So I'll pop that down here on the machine. It's always a little bit of a nerve-wracking thing when you start using your sewing machine. Hopefully it all works. There we go. And then you can see here we've just stitched that section together. Now I'm going to give it a little bit of a press just with my fingers at the moment. I'm not going to bother about ironing it down, but obviously when you're making your bits and pieces, you want to make sure that you iron everything together. I'm going to pop this next one across. Oops.
Oh, okay. I've had a question in now. Just asking, is a rotary cutter better than a craft knife or cutting paper? Sorry, for cutting paper, because I know you do paper craft as well.
For cutting paper, now it depends what you're using it for. I think sometimes depending on how big your rotary cutter is, if you're using a really big rotary cutter, and I tend to only have 1 or 2 for paper cutting, I find them quite difficult going around corners. I find you get a bit more of a flexibility with a craft knife doing something like that. But it depends. If you're cutting strips, then definitely a rotary cutter is the way to go. It really depends the kind of thing you're going to be producing.
Yeah. Definitely, thanks
so
for that. Thanks for your message.
This section here, if that's right. So you can see here we're putting this all together. So that's going to do that corner here. Again, I'm going to pop that there. And we're just going to be putting this together here.
So are you using the 1/4 inch seam allowance on this?
I am, yeah.
Right.
So all of the builder block systems at the very front of the booklet here, it will say, if I go flip here, how much seam allowance you're going to be using. So you can just check here. So it would generally be 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, and that is making sure that, particularly where you've got points, you're going to be making sure those points match up, because you've got those little dog ears sections there as well. So I'll put that together. So it should look like this once it's finished. So this is, I've got the first triangle here, and the second one here, and then this right angle triangle here. So it does look a little bit like a mountain, and actually, you know, if you're not going to be using this as a whole block, you could make this into a cushion. I think this would look really good as part of a runner going down a table for Christmas, something like that. But these fabrics work fantastically well with this beautiful colour. And then the next one on the top looks exactly the same. If I flick across to this page here, you can see that that would look exactly the same here, and you make this kind of honeycomb shape. So really lovely. If you make something quite small with some yellow colours, you could make a fantastic kind of B-type quilt. There's lots and lots of different options for you to do. Maybe even the thing to do when you first get this is to make one block using each of these different kinds of blocks that you can do, and put them all together so you've got one big quilt with all different types of blocks that could be made from this system. That would work really well.
Oh, I love that idea, and there's just so much you can do with these. And don't forget as well, you can use any kind of fabrics really that you want, in the sense of old baby clothes and special, you know, outfits, maybe prom dresses and the like. You'll have a lot of fun with this, can't you? And also, don't forget, if you're brand new, this could actually be quite a nice system for someone who's brand new, because you've kind of got, you know, the instructions even in their simplest form in here. So kind of anyone could get involved with this, really, couldn't they, Becky?
You could, and this is the thing, you know, I know, I'm talking to some of my aunts who are big quilters. There are certain things that they are reluctant to do. There are certain designs that they are fearful of, because there is so much cutting and there's so much importance placed on making sure that everything is exactly perfect. This opens out your opportunities to make something that perhaps you've been shying away from before, because it requires 300 or 400 tiny, beautifully cut triangles in order to produce it. This will be so quick. I mean, I didn't get the opportunity to sit down and hand cut everything, but I did think maybe that was something I should do. Hand cut all of the shapes and see how long it took, and then see how long it took to actually put them through the die cutting system. I mean, it is going to revolutionise how quickly you manage to produce your quilts, and they're going to be exact and perfect each time.
That's wonderful. Michelle has actually got a quick question for you, just saying, I'm new to sewing. Oh, I hope you're loving it so far. Do I need a specific foot on my machine to measure the seam allowance?
No, you don't. Now, every machine is slightly different. Some machines you will get do automatically have a little marker on there. Now, I found, for me, I have a piece of sticky tape, a piece of washi tape that runs all the way down the front of my sewing machine. So sometimes when you're stitching, or certainly I find, towards the very end, my hand just sort of moves slightly to the left. And sometimes the very edge of my seam can be slightly out. And by having this coloured piece of strip of tape on that machine, that keeps my eye line checking that very end of my stitch works. But you can buy bits and pieces that click onto your sewing machine that hold everything together, that sort of make sure everything is kept at that 1/4 inch seam allowance, or whichever seam allowance you want to use. But yeah, you can make do with some sticky tape, some brightly coloured sticky tape, like a kind of washi tape kind of thing. You can put on your machine. It's not going to damage it, and then that will make sure that you can carry on keeping your eye line in exactly the right places you're sewing.
Perfect, thank you very much. I hope that helped. Don't forget, if you have got any questions, Becky and Bernie both here with us until the end of the show. I'm back with you, Michelle. That was who the text was from. I'm back with you, Becky. What are we up to?
I'm just going to finish off this other little section. I'm going to put this other piece of grey triangle onto my block, and I'm going to sew them all together. Hopefully, I'm hoping they're all going to fit in. That's nearly there. I'm going to put this one here and over here. So I've almost finished this block really. So I've got one little corner of my grey, which I have, or grey triangle, which I think I've dropped on the floor somewhere, which is typical, isn't it? I'm going to stitch this together.
I think the floor is a magnet. It's
always the way.
Stuff.
So as I said, normally you would give this an iron. I'm just going to press it down at the moment, but obviously you want to make sure that your product is always going to be looking beautiful. So you can see here now, I just need to put this other little edge piece here, this little triangle, but look how fantastic that looks. I mean, this would work really well as a placemat, wouldn't it? And these kind of colours and designs, you can use these any time of year, but I think these work really well for kind of like a Japanese kind of kitchen, have Japanese meal, a little runner on there afterwards. So I'm just going to stitch this together here. So pretend that one's there. By the magic of technology, perhaps that is just there. I'll stitch these together and then you can see what the finished block would look like. So now I've got to get used to sewing while standing, which is always a bit of a challenge.
Oh, do you normally sit at home, do you?
I do, yeah. I don't normally wear big shoes. I've got big shoes today. I'm normally wearing trainers. So I've brought out my big grown-up shoes, especially for the show.
Oh, well done.
There we go.
Oh, lovely. That's great.
There we go. So if I put my hand there, then that looks like a perfectly made finished block.
It does.
Very quick to make.
Yeah, thank you very much, Becky, for showing us that. Isn't that fabulous? If you would like to create that, of course, you're going to want the system itself, that massive block of goodies that comes with instruction manuals and its own storage facility as well. So all of that is currently on your screen and it's double points. So you can seize the moment on that. Fancy recreating exactly what Becky's just created. You're going to want to get your hands on this fabric. This is our Tokyo Blue. From us, of course, a wonderful threaders by Crafter's Companion. And you have got this grey colour and you have got this, which lovely Becky's just been using as well. So those are the two that you've used. You've also got this one as a bonus. If you go on to Shop the Show, then it does look like it's sold out. We have got it available though. Just search it. Go and have a little nosy. We did actually have someone messaging before saying, oh my goodness, so many items have sold out. I can't remember your name now and my thing's just gone up, so I do apologise. But yeah, you've got so many things have sold out. And also you mentioned it was the first time you were watching Softer Side Live. A lot of elements have sold out. So I want to do you a bit of a favour and just give you a moment or two to check out those baskets so that you can secure what you've got. So we are going to head on into a little bit of a break so that you can check out those baskets and secure everything. As we've said, quite a bit sold out, but if you're quick, you might be able to grab those final few. So you check out your baskets and we'll be back with you after this.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Hello, welcome back to Crafters TV. It's me, Becky. We have got the other lovely Becky on and Bernie today if you've just tuned in. Oh, way up, you've been missing out on double points. But don't worry, you've still got a chance. We've got double points for you today. And don't forget, we have had some new fabrics. I'm afraid they have all now gone, but we've still got fabric on the show in the form of Tokyo Blue, and we'll talk to you a bit more about that shortly. If you do want to get making and crafting your own accessories, maybe gifts ready for Christmas, you might be thinking, I've got no time to do that. Oh, with these you have. With these wonderful time-saving dies, we are bringing to you your multifunctional die collection. Now, this is the whole kit and caboodle, okay? You are going to be getting 14 elements within here, and you are going to be able to create all of these different types of bags and holders. You've got 3 in your wonderful design there. You've got the drawstring bag with the drum bag. You've got your fabric storage basket, your cylinder carry case, as well as all of those extra elements you've just seen there. So these really are wonderful. Jewelry cases, wallets you've got in this one, as well as your clutch bags. You have got so much to keep you entertained here to create fantastic, unique and individual gifts. Today, your price is just £40 or $56 if you are brand new and you've got that platinum price. Remembering it is double those points, so do feel free to treat yourself if you wish, because these are super duper special. We absolutely adore them, and of course you can create them out of lots and lots of different fabrics, so do seize the moment on those ones, because these are very special, aren't they, Bernie?
Yeah, and there's so much you can do with them as well. I mean, we all love our bags, Becky, don't we?
Oh, yes.
When I got the box of samples out, so yeah, I'll let everyone know into a little secret. I got the box of samples for these, but the bag that was on the top was, I knew, would be the one that Becky would make a beeline for, the checked woolen one. So it's just absolutely fantastic.
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Thank you. What do you mean this is a sample? This is mine. I've had it for ages.
It's fabulous, but it just looks so good as well, doesn't it? And that's what our die sets can do for you. They can make, you know, like Becky was saying earlier about the cutting out. If you were going to do it all by hand, sometimes, to be fair, sometimes I'd give up on patterns because I'm thinking, oh, I really can't face cutting all that out by hand. Whereas because you've got the dies, it's going to be doing it, it's going to be accurate every time. In that set as well, which is, I've gone in the wrong order, this is set 2. We've got, this is the clutch bag that you're going to be able to make. Oh. We're giving you the instructions as well, so you're learning how to put zips in as well. So that's what I would say is a flat zip, if you like, in there. But then in that bag, like what you had there, Becky, you've got the zip going along here in a gusset, so you're going to learn how to inset a zip with a gusset as well. So we're always thinking about giving you those extra techniques in there. And then on your other set, I love this, the cylindrical carry case. Brilliant. Again, popping a zip in, but in a different way. I know this is going to have stuffing inside of here, but I'll open it up and see. And in this one, look, you actually get the drawstring section inside as well. Brilliant. Oh, Melly, I've lost it in there. Let me get it. Oh, I can't get it. But you've got your drawstring in the top. I've pulled it too far and pulled my drawstring out because I didn't put a knot in, look. Ah, yeah. Big enough knot. But you've got the drawstring in there. So it's another technique that you're going to learn. Brilliant. Zips on a roll as well, if we've got them on the website. Do feel free. If not, maybe watch the show next week. Oh, I didn't say a word. But as well, these are brilliant. Fabric storage tubs. I have loads of these in my sewing room because you can put all sorts in there and you can make them, adapt them for the size as well, so you can make them taller or shorter. And then the last set, which is the one I'm going to demo with, is the jewellery case. the travel wallet and the fold over clutch. So here I've got the jewellery case here, and what you got, we give you the dies to cut all of the pieces. So you're cutting out the tabs here. So put your little snap fasteners on there. You've got one on there. You can follow it to the letter as the pattern, or you could put extra ones on as well. You've got a little pocket in there as well to put things in. And then I've got the other one I've got here is just the clutch. The clutch, so you can make it bigger if you've got more things in, or you can put the tab and the fastener on. You can also add your own loop as well, so you've got like a carry loop as well. So again, you're getting those different techniques on how to make things. So as you know, what I'm always like, I think I might be renowned for it now, is I'm never going to make what the packet tells me. I'm going to make something different. So I looked at this one, I thought, right, oh, what can I make with that? And then what I do is I take the dies out. Oh, I'm just up scuttling everything. I take the dies out, and that's where I get my inspiration from. And spookily enough, Becky's been making the block there to make a placemat. So what I thought I would do is make a napkin and cutlery holder.
Ooh, love it. Perfect. That sounds great.
So you could use the Tokyo blue fabric, and you could have matching ones. Although, I'm really sorry, but I'm doing mine in the
Oh, that's no problem.
Christmas one.
Those ones have sold out now. If you want Tokyo blue, you can get it. Also, if you want zips, oh, we've got zips for days, 8 different colours to choose from. Have a little nosy on our website. Zip on a roll, we've called it. So have a little nosy.
So the die I'm going to use is this one. And I just want to explain what these notches are. So if anyone's got our dies before and they're the ones with the notches on, you're going to think, oh, what's the notches for? So if we look at the other dies, they don't have notches on. So what this does is it enables you to cut different size pieces with your die, and all of the instructions come in the packaging for you to follow. And what the instructions will tell you is it'll tell you to concertina your fabric. So what that means is, with our dies, you've got, this is your open end here, so this is where your fold of your fabric's going to be, and this is the cutting edge here. And what the instructions will say, well, you need a certain size piece. So if I get a piece of fabric here, and I like to lie my die down next to it, so I know that I'm not going to have not enough at this end, so this end's going to get cut. And then you're going to fold it down to one of the notches. So you fold at the top, and I give it just a little finger press. I tend not to do it with the iron. And then you're going to fold it back from that notch. So if you fold it back from that notch, and then back on itself, there we go. And if I hold that up to the camera, you can see there's the concertina there. And it'll tell you which notches to fold at in your instructions, and then you're going to pop that on, and when you pop that through your die cutting machine, this is your folded edge here, it's going to cut all the way around there, and then you're going to get the piece that you need in the centre. So that I just wanted to explain how those notches have worked. So what I've done, I've cut one down and folded like that. Well, I've cut 2 of those for my front and back of my cutlery stroke napkin holder. And then I've cut another piece down and concertinaed it at the middle, or the end notch there, if you like, the last notch. Okay. So I'll pop that to the side. I'm trying to listen to Becky and be tidy and put my dies away, but mine. I do look after my dies at home, and to be honest, I have to for work, because obviously I'd lose them all and wouldn't have any.
Yeah, that wouldn't be great.
So I've got all my pieces cut out here. I need to cut another one out. Or is it that one? Oh no, I do need to cut another one out. Oh, let me get my fabric. All right.
Bernie,
yes.
I love watching Bernie because she makes something different with the dies, says Laura May. That's exactly what you're going right now, Laura May. Absolutely. Michelle said you could sew 2 of the half pie shape pouches together to make a double clutch purse. Just make sure you put the zipper on the outside of the fabric.
Absolutely brilliant idea.
Love that idea, Michelle.
I love that. So I hadn't not cut a piece out. I did have my pieces ready. I
Well
think
done.
that one, I can't remember. Anyway, we'll come to it shortly when I put them together. We'll soon find out. I might have to trim one. But the other thing I need is wadding. Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret.
Tell me more.
So I've got the 80-20 here, but can you see how it looks a little bit misshapen?
Yeah.
Well, if I pop, guess where I cut that one out of?
Right,
That was me
yeah.
stocking, where I
Get
cut my
you.
stocking out of. So I've got all of these scraps of wadding, but this, can you see here? I've joined
Have
it
you
all
sewn
together.
that in?
Yes,
You
I've joined it all together.
genius.
So that's what I'm going to show you how. So when you've got all your offcuts of wadding like this,
Yeah. That is so clever.
you're gonna sew them back together to get a piece that you need. So, and it's a bit like a jigsaw. You're just gonna piece them.
I love it.
So if you've got two straight edges, to be honest, I was showing off here, Becky. I got a curve that matched, look.
Oh.
They were two different offcuts.
Yeah.
Obviously I had to trim it at the end, but I got a curve that matched, so I thought, right,
Genius.
I'm joining that in there. So what you're going to do is make your piece up to get to the size that you want, and then you're just going to keep rejoining. Now, what I do on my machine is I choose the zigzag stitch. So let me find the zigzag stitch, and then you want it the longest and widest that your machine will go.
So why'd you go zigzag on this? Is that to help attach them each?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what it's going to do...
Oh, because you don't want to overlap it really, do you?
No. Where possible, you don't want to overlap it because you don't want to have a lump in your project. But can we see there how that's pretty much lining up? So what I'm going to do is take that to the machine and just sort of butt it up to each other under the foot. And because you're doing a wide zigzag and a long zigzag, it's just gonna, because you don't want it to be tight and again causing a ridge. So if you have like too narrow a zigzag, it might just cause a ridge. So I'm just gently just butting it up against each other as I'm zigzagging along. And I tend to do this in a cream or a white, so it's not gonna stand out at all. And then I'm just gonna zigzag all the way along there.
This is such a good way of saving money and using your scraps. I love it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And then we can see here how I've now joined that piece on, so I've now made a bigger piece. So I do want a piece, where have I put my fabric? I do want to cut a piece big enough for the holder.
Okay.
So if I just going to pop my fabric on. Where we're going to go? Let's go up this way. So I'm just going to pop my fabric over the top. And I'm just going to cut around it. So I'm going to be... I don't want to get my ruler out of me tool tidy. I hope has everyone been guessing how many pieces are in?
People have been commenting on that tool tidy, saying how useful it is and saying how much they absolutely love it. Yeah, it's a bit of an essential, and we have got them on offer at the moment. You get 2 in a pack.
Definitely. So don't worry if you've got a little bit of a wonk here, because you're going to trim that down anyway. So I'm going to decide which piece I want on the front. Is that my pocket? That's my pocket.
Yeah, Nee said earlier, amazing gadget the tool tidy is. I got this and it's so convenient. It keeps the pokey tool, pen, scissors, scoring tool, flatheads, etc. within reach, so you don't have to rummage around in a pen case.
Oh, definitely it does. And it's so, I mean, I have a set of drawers at home on my desk, and in there I have like a bit of a tray with stuff in, but I still find that stuff gets just shoved in, and then when I'm like this, raking about looking for stuff, whereas where you've got them like that,
you can see it
on your table, in your work area. So you see there, I've just used that stick and spray for fabric, and that's just then peeled down. I was saying before about you can peel it back, look. Just peels off, but then you can just rub your hand back on there and pop it on. So now we're going to do the pockets. So I thought I'll do a contrasting colour, and all I've done is I've just folded the fabric wrong sides together and popped that on there. And then I've got another one, and again fold that right sides together and pop that on there. And then we want a piece for the other side. Now I haven't cut it, which I thought I had, so what I'm going to do is just lay this, flip it over, and I'm just going to lay it on my fabric. I'll just rough cut that on there. So now I'm going to stitch all the way around there. Again, because I'm going through quite a lot of layers, back to straight stitch. I'm going to lengthen my stitch, and I'm setting mine to 1/4 of an inch. So I loved listening to Becky's explanation on how she does her 1/4 of an inch, because it just shows how we all can do it in different ways. Having the tape on there, I'll change mine to say side, so it goes at the side of my standard foot.
Yeah.
Or I'll use my 1/4 inch foot. But actually having the tape on there, I veer off to the left.
Do you?
I'm pleased that's not just me, because I do veer off to the left, and I always thought, was it my machine?
Becky, are you left-handed? No, but you're left-handed like me, Bernie, aren't you? Yeah, no, I veer off to the left. I wondered if it was a left-handed thing,
Yeah.
but maybe not.
So it's obviously just a sore thing.
Yes.
It's a sore thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a gap at the side just for turning this through. And these, I mean, I'm making these in Christmas fabric, but you know, any fabric at all is going to look absolutely amazing with these, because I think I went to I don't go to many dinner parties. It's not a big thing up here, to be fair. But my friend, who I used to work with, she did have a dinner party, and we went round and everything was all matching on the table, and it looked fantastic. You know, for you to be able to make your own, and then you're going to get people coming in and cooing over, have you made that? Have you made that? And I think it's a lovely feeling when people admire what you've actually made. So I've stitched all the way around there. I've left that gap. I'm just going to trim. You wouldn't need to trim yours because you would have cut all your pieces out like I forgot to. There we go. And I'm just free cutting with my rotary cutter, but you know, you can put your ruler on there to get a straight edge and just clip those little corners off, because that helps when you're turning it through. It takes the bulk away, because the corners is where you're going to gather, that bulk's going to gather, because it's got nowhere else to go. So I'm going to turn this through, and hey, voila. Which side did I leave me hole? There we go. I'm going to turn it through, and I've done 2 pockets. So one pocket's for the napkin, and one's for the cutlery, because I think sometimes your napkins just get forgotten about.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. So I thought we're going to have its own little one. So I've been in our cafe here. We've got an internal cafe. I've raided the knives and forks. I need to take something out of me.
Out your tool tidy.
I'll put it back in before I count later.
Yeah.
We don't want a false count.
Yeah. Guess how many things there are in the tool tidy we'd like. Get him in on socials.
There we go. So I'm just going to quickly stitch that hole up.
That looks so lovely. I love how those fabrics work together. They have sold out though, I'm afraid.
I know, I'm really sorry.
Sorry about that.
I'll tell you what fabric I brought with me today as well, just in case we did totally run out of everything. Our boho fabric that we launched last week. Oh, it's still on, I don't know if it's a mistake, Becky, it's still on 4 for 3 on the website.
Oh.
Don't tell anyone though.
No, between you and I.
Yeah. 4 for 3. That's cracking that. But usually the deals are like 3 for 2, aren't they?
Yeah.
But 4 for 3 is a good one. Now I've only stitched around the top part because I don't want to stitch over my pockets. But there, I just need to put the cutlery in. And this, so it depends how big your cutlery is. Ours is really big. So I've got my napkin. So if I put my napkin in the back, in there, and then
how cute is
you've got your knife and fork I'll pop the spoon in there as well. And there we go. We all set for Christmas lunch.
I love it. Oh my goodness, that's such a cool make, Bernie. Oh, she's fabulous, isn't she? If you do want to recreate that, then of course you're going to want to treat yourself to the multifunctional dies, because although that is not a specific make to taught on the piece, that is exactly the type of thing you can use with these dies, making it fast, easy, accurate, easy for you to say. So if you do want to seize the moment, now is your chance. Should be nearly £100, £50 only today, or $70 unless you're brand new, or you're platinum when it's even cheaper. Don't forget, double points as well for you today. That's not all we've got though, because if you are the type of person who has a lot of crafting, maybe you, just like Bernie, have your workshops and you want to take elements with you, or maybe you've only got a small crafting area, so you need to pack it all up, make sure it's all in the right place. May I introduce to you the absolutely whopping carry-all bag, and this really is a carry-all amongst carry-alls. We have got so many different elements within here. You've got your massive zip at the front section, great for your portfolios and more. And just to give you an idea of the size inside, it is absolutely huge. In fact, there's a cutting board in here that you can't even see, it's that deep. So we have got real opportunity here, and it's nicely padded as well. So I have actually seen lovely Bernie put very unusual things in here before. Wasn't one of them a sewing machine, Bernie?
Yes, I was sewing machine fitting.
Yeah?
I did it without even checking live on air the other week.
Yeah.
And I thought, just from looking at the bag, I knew that it was going to fit in comfortably. And I can't remember whether it was Erin, producer today, who was doing the show. In me, it was like, is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? Is it going to fit? But I had faith. So yeah, it's absolutely great. And it's really sturdy as well. I've actually got mine here as well, Becky.
Yeah, it's really useful, isn't it? If you do want to seize the moment, you've got a big discount, a treat there, and it really is something for everyone. And don't forget, if you're artists as well, for your portfolios and things, it's great for that. Not only that, if you do want a cutting board, may I suggest to you this one here. It's an A1 folding element, so that means it really does fold up all nicely and neatly, but you can see sort of how massive this is. A2 cutting mat. So yeah, you can see how massive this is going to be, how versatile and usable. So we are bringing the cutter to you. That one as well, by the way, we've got for you is £48 or $64 with your platinum price point on that one. And the cutters as well, the fabric cutter itself, we have got within here. So you've got a lot to go out with these if you do want to get those nice crisp finished edges. And we are going to be having a demo just in a moment or two with this one. So don't forget, do keep messages in. Bernie, we are chatting all things useful now, aren't we?
We are. So, you were saying about me putting the sewing machine in the bag. Shall we see what I've got in mind today? Let's see what's in Bernie's bag today. So I've got the A2 cutting mat, folded, which is perfect. So if you are going out and about, or you even just don't have a big area at home and you want to store things away, you know, you can get a lot in here. So I've got the A2 cutting mat, and also with ease, might I add, the fabric cutter. Absolutely. And if I lay it on the top there, you can see that actually there's a lot more room around the outside in there, so that fits in there comfortably. So yeah, so they're really handy. And this is what I use now. I used to use my trolley, but now I use my carry-all to bring all my stuff in to do the shows, so you can get a lot. And believe me, I've tested how much I can get in there, a lot. So yeah, the fabric cutter is a really good piece of kit, and it's actually great to have with the A2 cutting mat because it fits on there perfectly. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to turn it portrait way, just so I can actually use the cutter here on the side. So what this is if you're struggling with your rotary cutter, if you've got dexterity problems, or even just as you're cutting up the side of a ruler, you know, you feel you go a little bit wobbly, you haven't got that confidence, and also the health and safety element as well, if you're worried about having that exposed blade around. The fabric cutter is actually great because what it's got is it's a built-in ruler and cutter. And with the cutter, if I turn it on its side, the blade is housed in here. Now you can't see the blade until you press on the top. So once you press, the blade is actually coming down, and there's a lovely spring inside of there. We test these products when they come in, and this was, I think, about version 6 or 7, because we wanted it to be right. One was a little bit too tight, it didn't feel right, or too loose. We get them back in and go back to the manufacturer until we get it. And Leanne will say every product that obviously goes over Leanne's desk has to be right. It doesn't matter how many times it has to go back, it has to be right. And in here as well, I won't take it right off, but there is a screw, or a nut I should say, there on the top. It's quite a chunky one for you to get hold of as well. And in there, in fact I will take it off and show you, there's the blade housed, there's a magnet in there, so that blade isn't going to fall off. Take it off with a pair of tweezers or some old scissors, pop a new blade on, and it goes back on there. It takes the standard 45mm rotary cutting blades, which we have as well, so any of your blades are going to go in there. And then what you do is you're basically going to get your fabric underneath. So I've got some of our Tokyo blue fabric here, and you're going to put your fabric underneath.
That fabric is still available if you want it, just head to the website.
And what's going to happen is you're going to place it under here, and this sort of I want to call it like a grid line, a guideline, is where it's going to keep the cutter straight, so you can't wobble. Ever. You can't wobble at all. And all you're going to do is this ergonomic handle, your hand is just going to fit on there. You're going to go all the way up, and it's cut the fabric.
Beautiful.
Hey up, I'm left-handed. I've just done it with my right hand.
Oh yeah.
Can you see? That's so
how easy it is.
Easy, yeah. And there's also grid lines on here, so you can get those diagonal cuts as well. So say we wanted to cut a 45, or we'll say a 60-degree diamond. Let's move it. I'm going to cut a 60-degree diamond. So here's the 60-degree line here. I'm going to line up my fabric. You can see I'm turning the cutter on an angle. That's fine. I'm going to line it up like that, get that lined up. And actually, I can cut towards myself as well, because there's a stopper at the end. So this stopper here means this is not going to come off. You see, it's not going to come off. So this measures 5 inches wide. So if I then line that back up and measure in, let me turn it round and get it the right way. Oh, I should have turned the cutter around and showed it left-handed. I'm going to line that up at the 5-inch line here. So the rule is if you're cutting one, whatever your width is, that's going to be your width again when you turn it. So I've lined it up on the 5. I'm cutting it back up like that, and there. And I've cut 2 layers here easily. You can cut, I would say cut a couple of layers when you first start using this till you get the hang of it, because it does feel different to a rotary cutter. But there we've got 2 perfect 60-degree diamonds with that, and basically it's all, because it's all straight cutting, you've got the grid on here. The other thing as well, if you're a paper crafter, there's actually centimetres along the edge here as well, so you can use this for your paper crafting. If you only do paper crafting and you're just watching today because you love watching our shows, which I watch our paper craft shows all the time, I love watching them, you can use this all the time for your paper crafting. If you're swapping between, then have a separate blade, keep one for your paper, one for your fabric, but you've got both options on there as well. And the other thing as well is you've got a fantastic carry handle here for when you are transporting it about. And the good thing is this, when you tip it, does not roll down. I have one at home, a different make, I've had it a while, and as soon as I pick it up, that rolls down and it bangs, and I'm thinking, well, that could be dangerous, or you know, it could damage it as well, but this one doesn't. It stays in that groove, stays in the groove. There we go, and it doesn't move. So yeah, so great to have in your stash, perfect to have with the 42, the A2 mat. And lastly as well, the other thing I use my mat for is keeping my blocks nice and flat for when I go home from my workshops.
That's brilliant. It really is. I've got loads of you, Rosalind included, saying, right, I'm caving, I'm getting the fabric cutter. I had Marcia messaging saying, I really do like my cutter. So I'm glad you've already got it. If you do want it, then it's all the info on your screen there with that large mat. That's not all we've got in our Saver Stitch though. Let let me chat to you about our pens here. Now, these ones are our Threaders pens, specifically designed for you to be able to use on your fabrics because they're erasable. So you're going to get 2 sets of 3, and you're going to be getting this selection of your colours. They are so versatile and usable, and as we said, they are erasable. So that means that you can get rid of those marks, and they are a lovely almost ink base as opposed to kind of, you know, your scratchy ones. They move really nicely. Again, great price on those ones for the pack of 2. Then I've also got for you, which I know a lot of people have been talking about, your wonderful Tool Tidy. Now, this Tool Tidy will hold absolutely loads. You can put your boards in there, your cutters in there. We had Anne messaged in, thanks for this, Anne. You mentioned if you've got the Totally Tiffany workstation, the Tool Tidy slots that in perfectly within there, so that's really great to know. You had oodles and oodles in yours, didn't you, Bernie?
I did. I've got absolutely stacked, so I wonder how everyone's done in guessing. Let's see if anyone's right. I've got, I mean, there's just so much, and I probably, to be fair, I probably could have got more in here. I've got my dye brush, I've got a big pair of scissors, I've got another pen,
4,
a marker,
5,
mitre tool,
6,
rotary cutter,
7,
my little pokey tool, dobber thing,
9,
my chopsticks, my hemostats,
11,
2 pairs of tweezers.
12,
I'm confusing everyone in my ear.
13,
Another pair of scissors, pens.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Big fat crochet
19,
hoop, more tweezers,
20,
a reel of thread,
21,
the
22,
screw punch tool, glue stick, another glue stick,
24,
pair of scissors,
25,
pair of scissors,
26,
and my ruler.
27.
27, and I still had space. And also, look at this. Now that is all piled. If you had that in your drawer at home, you're looking for stuff. The other thing is, again, thinking back to the fabric cutter, safety. If I put my hand in the drawer to pick something up, I've got sharp ends of scissors here. Whereas I'm not looking, I'm just putting my hand in the drawer to pick it. You know, you could have. So having everything in here, it's actually storing that tip away as well. This is made of like a silicone. Well, it is not like a silicone, it is silicone. So it actually pops back.
That's brilliant.
I just love playing with it. I just love playing with
great.
it because it just, you know, it goes back into the shape, but you can put so many things in here. I mean, the thing to me, that it's holding a rotary cutter and it's not going to, oh, well, it will drop out if you don't push it all the way in. Let me try that again.
Yeah. This is the wonderful thing, isn't it? It's so useful.
There we go. It's going to hold it in. Stuff isn't going to fall out of there. So absolutely great. And you're getting 2 as well.
You're getting that twin pack on those, and it's double points for the show today as well, do not forget. So if you do want those ones, now's your chance. Another one that I do want to remind you of is I've got a reversible bag in your Save a Stitch. This is 35% discount that we've got on this one for you approximately today. We're bringing to you a reversible bag. Now within this, you're going to be getting 4 different elements, so you're getting the 4 different dyes that will help you create this. I think it's a really stylish bag. You can make it a clutch, but as you can see, you can put a handle on it too, and it is reversible. That one today, just $18.74 or $29.96, but you get free glitter fabric with it, which would look great on this. I'm afraid I don't have it here in front of me, but it is well worth treating your hand to, especially as Bernie's got it. What are you saying? Have you nicked that off me, Bernie?
No, this is mine. I brought it in. I brought it in from home. And I'll quickly show you how much you get in here. I mean, I brought some of the bags in to show you as well. These are absolutely stunning. But you get in, hang on, let me get the size, 30 centimetres by 69 centimetres. So you're getting a really, really big piece.
Oh, that's fab.
I mean, look at the shine on that. And it doesn't come off. And you know, you can wash it. I've tested it and put it through the washing machine. But look, I mean, you can put it accessories to accessorise your items. We're making a little pencil case as well, or a rotary cutter
That's
case.
wonderful.
Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, our glitter fabric is lovely. It's cotton backed as well, sews through, normal needle, normal thread, normal foot.
It's just wonderful. Thank you so much for showing us that, and you do get that for free with this deal. Don't forget, your day isn't ending here. Oh no, it's just begun. We've got launch day coming up for you shortly. That is 3 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. Eastern, and we're also bringing to you Second Chance Sunday, of which I know we've got something very, very special. How do I know that? You'll have to wait and see. But yes, we have got all of that on its way for you. Don't forget as well, we have got a HSN preview with Sarah at 8 p.m. UK, and that is for all of you in the US, and that's 3 o'clock Eastern time as well. So do feel free to have a nosy at that as well, because that's coming up a little bit later. For now though, from one Becky to another, thanks Becky!
Lovely to see you. Thanks for
Lovely
having
to
me.
see you too. Do you know when you're next with us, Becky?
No, not sure.
We'll keep an eye out for you on socials and let us know. Bernie, thank you. When are you back with us?
Thank you. I'm back next Sunday. Can't get rid of me.
Of course. You've got zips and plenty more, haven't you? It's going to be perfect. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, it's been a pleasure. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We'll see you back here for lunch day soon. Bye, my love.